Hello everyone, welcome to my channel.
I slip into the back row of the wedding hall. Music drifts, petals scatter, and chatter swells like insects. Another moment later, another mask slips. Then I hear the name that hurts. The veil is expected to hide secrets. Instead, it shivers with the first gust of truth. Families are watching, pretending blissful forgiveness, while calculating costs. Lauren sits to the right, smiling through compromised loyalty. I see Evelyn's gleam, a hunter's precision. She raises a hand, and the room slows. "Claire," she says softly, "you should step outside." Her voice is velvet, but the bite lands. Robert stands by, calm as a statue. "Not leaving alone," he says, quieter now. Evelyn cuts through the murmurs with a cool command. "Claire," she declares, "you should not be here." Robert, the master of this house, smiles. "Leave with me now," she insists, her tone feathered steel. I watch the crowd swallow hard. Some pretend nothing's happened, others pretend they didn't hear. Then I hear a soft whisper aimed at me. Claire in the center, the target of gossip. Another breath later, I sense eyes calculating mine. Why do they pretend to care? I ask myself. Why do secrets travel so fast through perfume and champagne? So many eyes, so much interest, in my failure. The veil over the bride's hair glints with light. I reach for its edge, slow as a prayer. Illusion pressed tight, greed threads through every seam. Lauren watches me, torn, not brave enough to intervene. Evelyn raises her glass, a toast to a future that excludes. Her words burn like frost on skin. She wants him gone, far from this hall. Robert's voice softens, a patient invitation to end the show. I hear the crowd inhale, tasting salt and fear. To stay would mean a scene I must endure, but to walk away would hollow me forever. Something in me shifts, a hinge turning. I step closer to the drama, not toward the door. Silence becomes the weapon I need. Let them see the veil for what it is. This is more than a feud. Call it justice, call it truth, call it survival. It begins with a breath, then a question. Who benefits when a family sacrifices its heart? Who pays when loyalty wears a price tag? She is the merchant of secrets, and I know her name. Not allowed yet, not yet. First, I collect the blueprints of truth. Moments measured, testimonies queued, every secret filed. Patience is tonight's armor, but courage is the blade. Alex shifts, a quiet ally with steady eyes. He nods, understanding the ember beneath my gaze. Lauren catches my look, a flicker of decision refusing pity. She mouths support, then claps for the couple, brittle. Meanwhile, voices drift with the flicker of a camera. Somewhere, a microphone is being prepared for later. That thought returns me to the blueprint of exposure. And yet, I am careful, calculating every move. To wound someone, even a villain, could wound us all. That thought anchors me, steady as the room's heat rising. The wedding cake's glow becomes a small lighthouse. People smile, unaware of the storm behind the veneer. Then the door opens, and a new sound bites back. Father steps through, not to greet his guests, but to resist. His suit reflects the chandeliers, a calm moon over chaos. Relief flickers, followed by a tremor I know well. Robert clears his throat, and the whispers hush. "Claire," he says, "you and I will stand here. We have nothing to fear, not with truth." Behind him, Evelyn's lips tighten, a leash going taut. Alex leans closer, murmuring plans I barely hear. Lauren looks between us, torn, but quietly brave. That torn look is enough to push me forward. I step into the light, where promises glow and fracture. Let the camera find the truth in the middle. Not every glare is cruelty, some are quest marks. We walk through the crowd, eyes open. Alex smiles, ready to help lift the truth. Lauren steps beside me, shoulders squared, breathing evenly. Outside, the night hums with a different music. I see the horizon pale, the sun about to break. This is the promise I cling to. A line of light spills from a doorway. I step into it, not alone. Behind me, the veil remains. a witness. And I know the story is barely begun. So now the question isn't what happened, but who will tell? Because the microphone awaits, and exposure is a choice. I breathe, steady, and step toward the next scene. I haven't slept. The room hums with the wedding's echo. Something colder sits at every corner. Robert stands at the door, careful. Celeste glides in, smiling, surveying the room. She treats the library as a battlefield. The lamp throws gold on her jewelry. Her eyes map each shelf and chair. She studies portraits, as if reading wealth itself. She asks about a prenup. Robert answers with quiet, steady calm. This prenup feels invasive, she says. Robert's smile remains steady. I notice the clock ticking loud. He pivots to the desk. Blueprints spill across the map. Wooden lines glow under brass. Celeste follows the lines with a touch. She asks about security, futures, leverage. Her questions drift like frost. Robert keeps a polite bow. I see the game, but I stay silent. Claire watches from the hall, her breath shallow, palms flat. She knows what a trap looks like. She whispers to me, "Stay calm." Robert signals Marcus to listen. Marcus nods, a heavy folder in hand. Outside, a storm moves. Clouds press the glass. Celeste's voice softens, almost confiding. I hear the claim. I hear the fear. Andrew, dear Andrew, stands nearby hopeful. He believes we can protect him. We do not want to crush him. I love him, but I am wary. We all breathe, waiting for intent to surface. The room becomes a map, and the map becomes a trap. We are actors on a quiet stage. That evening, a journalist and a private investigator arrive. They carry clipboards and folders. They show Celeste's history with wealthy families. They bring records of targets and patterns. Old clippings describe a pattern. 3 names repeat. 3 cities coincide. Robert's eyes narrow, yet his voice stays calm. Claire touches the blueprints again. I realize the blueprint is a weapon. Not a house, but a life. She wants to own the future. Not by anger, but by calculation. I watch the wind change outside. The storm heightens. The journalist and investigator study quietly. Patricia, the lawyer, nods with approval. Andrew watches, hopeful, vulnerable. Celeste maintains calm, yet her smile edge loosens. Marcus keeps steady, a quiet anchor. The evidence slides into Robert's hands like frost. He traces connections, gaps, and quiet concessions. I feel Claire rise beside me, now a strategist. She counts instruments in her breath, steady as a pilot. The blueprints glow with patient light. They reveal protection and revenge, care and calculation. The sun lowers, painting us in amber. Silence becomes a tool, and we learn its weight. We will listen, gather, and wait. We will choose the moment to reveal. Our plan is to realign, not ruin. This house feels like a ship, anchored in truth. The storm eases, and the air grows clear. The blueprints glow brighter, counting the hours to come. If we move right, the lie unwinds without breaking what matters. Tonight, I breathe and resolve. I stand at the edge of the ballroom, breath loud. Chandeliers drip gold onto faces pressed with nerves. The music thins, then returns, like a held breath. I want to believe this is a celebration. Robert steps forward, stillness pulsing in his chest. His suit looks ordinary beside the storm he carries. Celeste lifts a glass, the room listening. Her voice pours out, honeyed, dangerous, irresistible. Andrew grips the groom's chair, eyes bright with theater. Patricia moves behind him, calm as a lighthouse. I want to shield them, but I cannot. I am Claire, the quiet witness who learns truth. Tonight, the truth hides no longer. Celeste's smile slides, showing something sharper beneath. Robert speaks with the voice of a courtroom. I hear linen rustle, a clock counting seconds. People lean as if to catch a storm. Then the first file slides onto the table. Blueprints of deceit scatter like confetti in the light. My mind maps the patterns I have watched. I have learned to trace the thread of motive. Now I see Celeste's motive clear as glass. She wanted control, a lifetime of control. She wanted the prenup to bind our fear. Her scheme depended on public love failing. She counted on our need to forgive. She believed mercy would become silence. She was wrong. The first testimony lands with a sledge. It hits Andrew like a gauge of truth. His face crumples, shoulders dropping a heavy load. Celeste stares, trying to pretend any guilt. Her mask slides into a warm smile again. She asks for mercy, but mercy is listening elsewhere. I hold my breath, and my heart steadies. Patricia slides another folder toward the microphone stand. A hush follows the soft clack of metal. Someone passes a small recorder, its red light blinking. The sound becomes a chorus, a truth chorus. Robert speaks again, but this time the facts ring. I hear the cadence of years in his voice. It is the voice of a man who measured consequences. It lands in the crowd, like a compass needle. Celeste's foundation shudders, and her veneer fractures. Whispers travel, exchanging names, turning gossip into indictment. Andrew looks at his father, an orphan no longer. He sees the cost of silence. Patricia whispers to him of new beginnings. Claire watches his jaw unclench, then fall open. Love, once a curtain, becomes the stage itself. I imagine the veil lifting, thread by thread. Celeste moves to grab the mic, to repair the act. Robert stays still, eyes on hers, disciplined and cold. I want to protect the family, even from ourselves. Anger spikes, then cracks, then settles into something harder. But I breathe. Lengthened, measured breaths. I am the ledger of what is possible. Justice arrives on quiet shoes, not fireworks. Celeste tries to salvage empathy, but the room answers. Andrew's eyes water. He looks away, toward the windows. I see a sunset bleeding through the stained glass. The light softens the cruelty in the room. A microphone cord snakes along the floor, a lifeline. It reaches Andrew's hand and he grips. Not for revenge, but for a future. Celeste tries to retreat, but the truth follows. It floods the guests with memory, with regret. My own memory drums inside my ears. Different scenes, flash car rides, whispered deals, late nights. I realize loyalty means naming what hurts. It means standing when it costs more than love. Robert raises his chin, calm as a captain. I catch the black ink of truth in his eyes. It is not victory yet, but it is justice. People shift, misaligned joy redrawn as responsibility. Claire, the witness, steps forward with new resolve. I speak softly, but the room leans closer. Truth is a sound, not a weapon. Tonight it becomes a chorus we cannot ignore. Andrew breathes, finally able to bear the weight. Celeste's world buckles as her assurances disappear. Patricia nods, a signal to end the masquerade. The room pours forward with courage, not cynicism. Music resumes, softer, a lullaby for a grim night. People applaud, not for romance, but for honesty. I taste the champagne. It tastes like salt. My hands stop shaking. I feel a spark of real belonging. This family will survive the truth. I step back, watching them choose who they will be. The wedding guests fade into silhouettes, leaving us awake. A door opens. A breeze carries the scent of rain. I know the night is not finished, only reset. The dawn will arrive, and we will choose truth again. Sunlight slides across the room, soft and undeniable. I breathe, and I know healing is possible. End of scene. But the journey continues. The vow to seek light remains, even when the room trembles. The courthouse doors glow with late Portland light. I stand among hush and rain, listening. The verdict lands like a clear bell. Celeste filed suit. Fraud was proven. She falters, then folds under truth's glare. The prenup dissolves. Justice follows. Criminal charges follow. The future rearranged. In our house, Andrew rebuilds with care. Claire sits with him, guiding therapy. We map routines, rebuild trust, breath by breath. I murmur, we tell what hurts. Robert nods, placing a steady hand on mine. He says, we choose truth now, not blame. Patricia smiles, drafting boundaries that heal. The family circle tightens, yet softens at the core. Sunset slides over Portland's skyline. The river holds gold, towers glow like embers. We stand together, not forgetting, but forgiving. I feel Andrew breathe evenly beside me. This is our new normal, Claire murmurs. Robert answers with a quiet nod. Patricia nods again, counting the steps like careful prayer. The tent of chaos falls away. I murmur to the wind, "Thank you for truth." Justice lands softly, healing louder. The skyline blurs, then clarifies, like a lens. I stand with Andrew, Robert, Claire, and Patricia. We share breath, a quiet chorus of resilience. If truth can rebuild a family, we can face tomorrow. The courtroom corridors echo with the clack of heels and whispers. Reporters pack the benches, yet they cannot own our truth. I remember Celeste's smile turning brittle, then vanishing. A room away, Patricia nods to the bailiff. The prenup's void creates a different geometry for us. No one shouts. We speak softly, but with weight. Later, Andrew finds a steady rhythm in school and work. Claire guides him in therapy, breathing into the ache. She teaches him to name fear and give it a voice. We mark milestones on blueprints of tomorrow. The blueprints sit on the table, edges worn. In ink, we draw consent, care, and continued accountability. Robert calls a family meeting. We agree to speak daily. Patricia lays out steps for ongoing transparency and boundaries. The room feels alive with cautious optimism. I think of the veil we once wore. Now the light strips it away, inch by inch. Public exposure becomes private resolve, and we endure. I voice a line to the camera in my mind. The truth is a lighthouse, not a wrecking ball. If we guard it, it guards us back. The sun dips lower. The city exhales. We lean into the moment, listening to windows sigh. I whisper, "We did not erase the pain. We rewrote it." Claire turns to me, eyes soft with memory. We stand together, a quiet chorus. The skyline thickens with color, then settles. No more grand betrayals, only honest mournings. There is room for love, for forgiveness, for mercy, and if tomorrow tests us, we will answer. With truth as our compass, we move forward. The sunset blushes, the city holds its breath. I feel the beginning of something hopeful. Not triumph, not revenge, but completion. We are tired, yes, but finally safe. The wind lifts our hair, the moment feels almost sacred. I imagine the wedding veil, discarded now, fluttering away. The blueprints lie beneath the notebook, edges softened by rain. Andrew doodles, airplanes, a symbol of possibilities he once forgot. Claire leans closer and says, "We are building futures, not fleeing." Robert's eyes gleam with the patience of many quiet years. Patricia nods again, counting the steps like careful prayer. The city softens, the night yields to a kinder dawn. I feel the hope that comes from shared vulnerability. Love grows where truth is patient, and truth is refusing to vanish. We rise together, not claiming victory, but choosing mercy. The microphone of the moment remains on, broadcasting our clarity. Even the gulls outside seem to listen, breathing with us. Tonight we choose ordinary happiness as a policy. Tomorrow may test us, but we know our map. The day recedes, our promise remains, patient as the horizon. Some days the city complains, and we listen. Then we rest, then resume our day. Hope becomes a habit, steady as a heartbeat.